Okay, so once the table is created, we can start inserting values into this. So the syntax for inserting a values into table is insert into, then a table name, values, then we have to specify a list of values. Optionally, after table name, we can specify a list of columns for which we need to specify values. So let's say column 1, column 2. If we specify the columns, then each individual value will refer to that column, and if we do not specify a list of any columns, then it is by default taken as the all columns and in the order of which at the time of creation of table. So when you write insert into employee without specifying any columns, that means we have to specify the values for employee number, name, designation, salary, commission percent and manager ID. That is, we need to specify 6 values. So employee number is 1, name is ABC, clerk, salary 8,000, commission percent 10 and manager ID as 1. So we'll insert this record, rows inserted, and we'll take the second example. In this case, we have inserting only the employee number, designation, e-name, salary and commission percent. In this case, we are not specifying the manager ID. So here we specify only 5 values. We'll insert this. So let's see the result of the table. Yes. What happens actually when we do not specify any column into the insert statement, then that column gets the default value. So in this case, while inserting into manager ID, we have not specified manager ID, so it gets the default value as null. Similar thing we can do. Let's say I do not specify a salary as well, so let's remove this 10,000, make it as 3, let it be clerk and PQR. If we insert this, one row inserted, and when we check, the third record will have 2 default values, and the default values are both are null. If you remember, in the last video we have discussed that at the time of creation of table, optionally we can also specify what default value a column will have. If you do not specify that default value, then by default the default value is null. So let's drop this table and at the time of creation of new table, I will specify for manager ID the default value as -1, and let's say for salary the default value as 15,000. So what does this mean is that whenever at the time of insertion, if we do not specify a value for this column, instead of taking null as a default value, it will take the default value as 15,000, and in case of manager ID, the default value will be -1. So let's create this table, and we'll have the same 3 insert statements, but this time here for both last 2 records the manager ID will be -1, and for the last one the salary will be 15,000. Let's check this. Yes, so for last 2 this we have manager ID as -1 and salary as 15,000 for the last record. So we'll stop for this tutorial. In the next tutorial we'll discuss about the integrity constraints that we can specify at the time of creation of table. Thanks for watching and happy learning.